What's up, ceiling fan collectors of YouTube? The Russian Fazbear coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And today, what I have for you is a Casablanca Delta 2 in Moroccan Sand. Now, Moroccan Sand, for those who don't know, is another one of Casablanca's oddball finishes, as I like to call them. Casablanca, along with many other companies in the 80s and 90s, made a series of weirder finishes to appeal to the wackier designing trends of the 80s and 90s. And Moroccan Sand was one of them, which is essentially just a beige color, as you can probably tell. Now, I got two of these, not from the same place, they came from separate places. This one came from eBay, the other one I have came from another collector, and they are about 6 months apart from each other. This one's from July of 1987. The other one's from January of 87. And I will be making a video of the second one. Well, I mean, that one came first in terms of manufacturing, but I put this one up first because I bought this one first by a margin of about 3 weeks. And this one also has a K4S, as you can tell. The glass I did add myself. I actually don't remember if it came with glass or not. If it did, it was probably a non-Casablanca glass, though again, I can't really remember off the top of my head. And the pull chains I also added myself. I have a tassel for the fan and a Casablanca pendant for the light. Let's take a closer look here, shall we? You got the high gloss Moroccan Sand blades. And it did come with hang true and all that stuff, but for my sake I just keep this LCA up here, so that's how it's mounted along with every other fan that's in this spot. There's this side. There's your tag. That thing will focus, there we go. I believe that says July 14th, fan number 169. And it is 50 inches, as all Delta 2s are, unless they have homebrew blades. Alrighty. Let's demonstrate this bad boy. Starting off with the light. K4S is always a nice neutral light you can put on a Casablanca fan. You know, very basic. It was offered in every color, both the common and the rare. And it just looks really nice overall. And with the light on, it almost looks white, which lends itself to the Moroccan Sand shenanigans that would come in the year following 87. Anyways, there's low speed. Now, for those who don't know what I was referring to there were some, let's say, shenanigans with the Moroccan Sand finish in, I think it was the year 1988. So, Moroccan Sand was this color from when all the oddball finishes were introduced in 86 up until, I think, 88. And antique white was a different finish. But then, in 88, obviously Casablanca underwent some changes. One of the most common and notable ones was making 5 blades mainstream, and I believe that was also the year they went from point tip to bump tip, though that may have been 89. Anyways, so Moroccan Sand underwent some changes too. They made the new Moroccan Sand, I believe, darker, and then they also made antique white darker. However, they made antique white darker to the point where it was the exact same thing as the old Moroccan Sand. So say if you had a Delta 2 from like 1995 in antique white and a Moroccan Sand Delta 2 from, say, 1986, they essentially should be the exact same finish. Anywho, there's medium. So that's pretty crazy. Moreover, however, my two Moroccan Sand Delta 2s are slightly different in of themselves. What I mean by that is this one is from July of 87, And the Moroccan Sand finish appears to have a semi-gloss lacquer on it of sorts. If you look closely, or I can zoom in, you can see at the edge of the motor housings that there is a slight reflection. That bright white stuff is a partial reflection. And you may have also seen it when I, gave you a close-up view of the fan earlier. So, this fan has like a semi-gloss on the housing finish, motor housing, switch housing, K4S, the blade brackets, and the hang true, etc. However, the one I have from January of '87 doesn't have that semi-gloss. It's just like a matte Moroccan sand, which is interesting. So that means that there's a slight difference between this Moroccan sand and that Moroccan sand when they were manufactured only 6 months. They were only manufactured 6 months apart from each other and in the same year. And then there's high. And then, of course, high is nice and powerful, blowing plenty of air. You can see the tassel blowing around, and I have some papers on my desk that I probably should have pinned down before making this video, but whatever. Yeah, so it's pretty weird, and I do thank you guys for humoring my rambles once again, because, yeah, this one, again, is from July of '87, and it has a semi-gloss Moroccan sand color. Now, my other Delta 2, which, again, a video on that one to come soon, that one is like a matte Moroccan sand. The blades, I'm pretty sure, are the exact same, but like the brackets, the motor housing, hang true, switch housing, all that is, different. Moreover, if you guys are aware, I also have 2 Moroccan Sand Panamas. Those ones I did actually get at the same time, same occasion, and they came from the same, original location. Those 2 are also from January of '87, and they also have the matte Moroccan Sand finish, on their housings. And then the blades, like all the other ones, are, a high gloss. So, not exactly sure what's going on there. My guess as to what's going on there is either A, because, it's not really that much darker, so I'm thinking either A, Moroccan Sand went under 2 changes, or there was like 2 versions available back in the really early days, like a matte and a semi-gloss, or perhaps B, they changed Moroccan Sand in '87 and not '88. It could have been maybe February, March, April, any of that time in '87. They're like, okay, let's change Moroccan Sand around. And then they gave it a semi-gloss, they made it a little darker, and then antique white, in with the old, out with the new, or whatever. But I have no proof of that. When looking at this one next to my other Moroccan Sand Delta 2, it really doesn't look that much darker in shade, so I would assume that leads me to believe that there may even be 3 different versions of Moroccan Sand. The lighter matte, the lighter semi-gloss, and then the darker semi-gloss. Again, this is all just me going off on one of my usual conspiracies. However, it could have just been they changed it around earlier. I'm not really sure. Turn it off now. It's interesting to think about, though. And one more thing to note is the Decorator Mauve Delta 2, which is just off screen to your right-hand side. That fan has the same semi-gloss on its, mauve coloring as this one does. And that one's from 1986. Though, again, I'm sure that doesn't have anything really to do with it because, I believe Ferrari Red and Dusty Rose had that same semi-gloss lacquer on them. So, not really sure what was going on with Moroccan Sand back in the day. It is definitely one of the wacky finishes, oddly enough. But, anyways, so this ceiling fan, just a little more about it itself. I got it off of eBay, and it runs really well. Bearings are practically silent, blows a ton of air. The blades are well in pitch with each other. It's really good. It's a really good performer overall. And Yeah, and I mean, the Moroccan sand color as well, it's a very nice neutral color because as much as I love some of the like really like pop out like crazy colors like Ferrari red, chrome, or any of those ones, as much as I love those ones, I also like Moroccan sand because this one's really like very chill, very low key. It's a nice relaxing color to look at, you know. So yeah, that's just about all I have to say. So, presumably next time will be my other Moroccan Sand Delta 2. Might be something else, I don't really know, but we'll have to see. Alright, well, that's all for this time. I like you guys very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.